Hello, it's Tom with Digital Foundry, and this is the Seagate Firecuda. It's the 2.5-inch laptop size model, a 2TB hybrid drive costing around £115 or $130. Why is it so special? Well, for PS4 users it ticks a few crucial boxes if you're itching to upgrade from your stock drive. Until this model, we've only had 1TB as the maximum size for a 2.5-inch hybrid drive from Seagate. Even with the onboard NAND memory to increase speeds, 1TB might still not be quite enough to satisfy an upgrade. But now, Firecudas come in a 2TB variety for laptops, with all the benefits of hybrid technology while fitting inside PS4's 2.5-inch hard drive caddy. So how's this achieved? Simply put, a 2TB laptop size hybrid is possible thanks to a new technology called shingled magnetic recording, or SMR for short. This new method lets Seagate layer multiple tracks onto the mechanical platter for a more energy and space efficient design. It moves from the perpendicular magnetic recording method, or PMR, where decreasing the size of a bit on the platter makes drives heavier, thicker and hotter. Obviously that's a problem for PS4. In the end, SMR means this 2TB Firecuda is much smaller than most drives we put into the console. It's overkill at just 7mm in depth, and in fact makes you wonder if this technology could make 4TB drives possible in a 2.5-inch form factor. So let's talk specs quickly and get testing. Here you get 2TB on a 5400 RPM platter, and this is crucially paired with 8GB of much faster onboard NAND memory. Now this is the trick for hybrid drives. For an initial load of a game, you won't get faster results than a regular mechanical drive. However, with constant use, it will speed up massively, and at best matches pricier solid-state drives for throughput. Seagate uses that 8GB of NAND intelligently, as you'd expect from a hybrid, using multi-tier caching to store the most frequently used packets of data for quick access later on. Okay, so let's use Battlefield 1 as a case study for this. Here's a game with some notoriously long load times on PS4 stock drive, where that first campaign mission can take almost 2 minutes to get going. Now for comparison, I'm testing the PS4 stock 512GB drive on the top left, a regular Samsung 2TB mechanical drive on top right. On the bottom left is our new 2TB Seagate Firecuda hybrid, and to the right of that is a 512GB OCZ solid state drive. On paper, the fastest of the quartet. To avoid network interference here, I've kept all tests offline, and so let's kick off with the first campaign mission called Over the Top. Alright, these are the numbers for a very first initial load on a regular PS4 after a fresh install of Battlefield 1. As you can see, the 47-second finish on that SSD puts it in clear first place, and it's a long wait for the other three to catch up. Bear in mind, the Firecuda is only using its mechanical side to load in data for the first time, just like the regular 2TB, and it really lags behind the SSD. In this case, we actually see PS4 stock drive beating both at 109 seconds, but overall they're within the same ballpark. Alright, so the Firecuda gets 112 seconds from an initial load of the campaign, but quitting the application, returning to the PS4 menu, and starting all over again gives us very different results. If you look at the Firecuda repeat test, now every attempt gets progressively better results. So try 2 comes in at a more respectable 79.5 seconds, try 3 comes in at 76.3, and so on. By the 5th load, it completely plateaus at just 50 seconds and doesn't go any further. That's the best time by far, over half the original initial load and achingly close to the solid state drive's 47 seconds. This is the hybrid drive's NAND in action, logically caching the data it sees in frequent use, and even after starting a game of Skyrim to try and mix things up, I returned to Battlefield 1 and it was still loading that level after 50 seconds. Now this isn't a luxury of the standard 2TB drive, where you're stuck at around 114 seconds regardless of the number of tries. One more test on the standard PS4, then on the Cape Hells map. Using the same 4 drives again, the Firecuda gets an already decent result of 67 seconds from an initial load. This beats the stock drive and the 2TB drive, but you're still waiting over a minute here, and it's nowhere close to the solid state drive. But once again, rebooting the game several times, the following 5 tests load it in progressively faster. In order, that gets you 59.7 seconds, then 45.2, 34.3, and finally 33.3 from there onwards. In other words, with the 4th or 5th attempt loading Battlefield 1's levels, the Firecuda beds enough information in to almost match the SSD. In this case, our OCZ drive comes in only a little earlier at 31.5 seconds. So far so good, but how about combining PS4 Pro with this Firecuda? Is there any extra benefits using the drive there? Let's compare that first campaign level once again. We have the standard PS4 up top with both a standard 2TB drive and the Firecuda on right. Below are the exact same two drives, but in that case running on a PS4 Pro. Overall, there's a lot of unknowns here, variables in how the hybrid drive caches data that we can't control. By comparing our 5th and fastest attempts on the Firecuda, a Pro machine follows that exact same pattern. Yes, the standard PS4 is ahead by a few seconds in the end here, but there's a variance on both sides and the improvement is clear on both ends. Overall, as an option for upgrading either PS4 or Pro, it makes a lot of sense in terms of value. When it comes to space, 2TB is a satisfying enough increase for those on a Pro machine, for instance, where you already have a 1TB drive by default. In a generation where most games need 50GB for installs and patches, it's strange to say 1TB still doesn't quite cut it for me, and I'm always being forced to delete games I wanted to keep. Of course, doubling that space gives a decent amount of breathing room, but with patience, the speed boosts are also a big bonus here. Once cached to that NAND partition, results put this hybrid in a similar league to SSDs, where equivalent sized 2TB solid state drives cost a small fortune. The first time using the Firecuda, it's fair to say you will be underwhelmed at the speeds. They're no better than the PS4 stock mechanical offering in many cases. But keep using it to load your favorite games and I can confirm you will see obvious improvements by the 4th or 5th attempt. All of which makes me wonder what's possible down the line. The use of SMR tech makes this drive so thin it doesn't actually fit in flush with the PS4's hard drive caddy. You actually have to raise it off the base to screw it in properly. It's very possible Seagate could even beef this design up, doubling the width for a 4TB drive down the line while still fitting into a PS4. Anyway, that's a quick look at the benefits you can expect from the 2TB Firecuda drive. Personally, I've yet to upgrade my PS4 Pro at all, but this one is making me have second thoughts about sticking with the stock drive. If you found this one useful or informative in any way, please do give us a like or subscribe. As ever, I've also uploaded the source file to this video if you need it to digitalfoundry.net for a higher quality encode. But until next time, thanks for watching.